I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
I knew something terrible would happen at the end, not to mention the fact that Michael constantly told me, Latoya, if I die, they're going to murder me, they're going to kill me.
Breaking news.
Apparently Michael Jackson suffered cardiac arrest this afternoon.
They have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
All right, y'all, this is one for the books. Jim Carrey is peeling back the curtain on what he claims is one of the darkest conspiracies in Hollywood. And hold on to your seats because it involves Diddy, Oprah Winfrey, and the untimely death of none other than the king of pop, Michael Jackson. If what Jim is hinting at is true, then Hollywood might be even more twisted than we ever imagined. Let's dive into the claims, the receipts, and the jaw-dropping connections that have fans and conspiracy theorists alike spinning. Jim Carrey, Hollywood's unexpected whistleblower. Jim Carrey, known for his eccentricity and unfiltered takes, has never been one to shy away from controversy, but this time, he's dropped a bombshell that has everyone talking. During a recent interview, Carrey hinted that Michael Jackson's death wasn't just an unfortunate tragedy, it was part of a deliberate effort by powerful figures to keep him quiet. Michael Jackson didn't just dominate music. He owned the stage, the charts, and the hearts of millions worldwide. But with that kind of power came enemies, powerful ones. Michael's ability to control his career, his influence, and his narrative made a lot of people in the industry uncomfortable. And let's be real, when you've got that much power, you don't just make waves, you make targets.
This is very important because throughout the years, black artists have been taken advantage of completely. And it's time now that we have to put a stop to this incredible injustice.
Michael himself believed that the very people running the industry were conspiring against him. He openly spoke about a shadowy group of executives who he claimed wanted to see him fall. Why? Because Michael was rewriting the rules, taking control of his music and career in ways that upset the old guard. And when someone like Michael challenges the status quo, the system fights back. And the people who felt most threatened? Allegedly, none other than Oprah Winfrey and Diddy. The allegations? A plot to take him down? At the height of his fame, Michael was blindsided by allegations that shook his world and nearly ended his career. These weren't just random accusations. Michael believed they were part of a larger plan to destroy him. He openly called out the industry players he thought were pulling the strings, accusing them of orchestrating these attacks to weaken his power and tarnish his name. And honestly, looking at how it all played out, it's hard to argue with him. The timing, the media frenzy, and the relentless scrutiny all seem too calculated to be a coincidence. But here's the kicker. Who benefited from Michael's downfall? The very people who wanted to control him. When the accusations hit, they didn't just damage his reputation. They also stripped him of the influence he'd worked so hard to build.
Latter portion of 1993. There were some allegations leveled at you concerning improper conduct with some young boys. I assume you're familiar with the fact that those allegations were raised. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, here's where things get darker. Diddy has faced his own accusations of manipulating and discarding artists when they no longer served his purpose. OGs like Maze have been calling him out for years, claiming Diddy uses artists and then tosses them aside. And let's not forget Craig Mack and other artists who mysteriously disappeared from the spotlight after crossing Diddy.
You need more proof? Biggie ain't here, so Big can't give you no receipts. He dead. Craig Mack can't give you receipts. He dead. What are you talking about? Who else? Black Rob can't give you receipts. He dead. And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about. I'm the only one with the guts.
Could Diddy have been part of the same machine that worked to dismantle Michael's empire? It's a chilling thought, but when you consider how many artists have accused Diddy of exploitation, it starts to make sense. Oprah's interview, a setup or just bad intentions? Let's take it back to 1993. Oprah Winfrey sat down with Michael Jackson for what became one of the most watched interviews in television history. On the surface, it seemed like an opportunity for Michael to clear the air about all the wild rumors surrounding him. But watching it now, it feels more like a hit job.
Out of singing, wait.
Yeah. And when you are, for instance, when we were here before,
Oprah didn't hold back, questioning Michael about everything from his skin condition to his relationships to his alleged cosmetic surgeries. The tone, invasive, accusatory, and borderline hostile. And every time Michael tried to explain himself, Oprah seemed to cut him off or steer the narrative.
Just recently there was a story, and I know one of your attorneys held a news conference. There was a story about you wanting to have a little white boy play you in a Pepsi commercial.
That is so stupid. That's the most ridiculous, horrifying story I've ever heard. It's crazy.
For example, when Michael discussed his vitiligo, a medical condition that caused his skin to lose pigment, Oprah looked skeptical. "So you're saying this isn't cosmetic?" she asked, almost dismissively. Michael's fans were outraged, accusing Oprah of trying to undermine his credibility and twist the narrative to suit her own agenda.
What you have done or are doing, are you bleaching your skin? And is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Okay, number one, as I know of, there is no such thing as skin bleaching. I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they used to have those products growing up. I used to hear, always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons to.
Okay,
But that's not all. Oprah even questioned Michael about his relationships, asking if he was a virgin and implying that his friendships with children were suspicious. Michael, visibly uncomfortable, tried to explain that he found solace in the innocence of childhood, something he felt he'd lost due to his early fame. Still, Oprah pressed on, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of viewers.
I'm going to ask you this, and it's embarrassing for me to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you a virgin?
How could you ask me that question?
I just want to know. I want to know.
I'm a gentleman.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
And here's where it gets worse. Just months after that interview, the first major allegations against Michael surfaced. Coincidence? Many fans think not. Diddy's role, a power player with something to hide? Now, according to Jim Carrey, Diddy wasn't just a bystander in Michael's downfall. He was allegedly an active participant. Why? Because Michael knew too much about how the music industry operated, especially the shady dealings behind the scenes. Michael had spoken openly about how artists, particularly black performers, were exploited by powerful executives. He even hinted at a puppet master pulling the strings, controlling artists' careers, and silencing anyone who dared to step out of line.
We're listening to Mike right now. Obviously, you know, this is a really sad time right now, but we're celebrating his life. Your thoughts right now on the situation and the timing of this tragedy?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's just somebody that changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I'll always love and cherish.
Diddy, who rose to power under music mogul Clive Davis, was no stranger to these power dynamics. And according to Carrey, Michael had information about Diddy's rise in the industry, information that could have potentially destroyed him.
Yeah, have you had a chance to work with Michael Jackson? And if so, or even if not, do you have any stories about Michael that you might care to share? Maybe the first time you heard Thriller, I don't know.
But that's not all. There are whispers that Diddy was present or somehow involved in Michael's final days, fueling speculation about his role in the tragedy. And if you think that's shocking, wait until you hear about the connections between Diddy's inner circle and Michael's former security team. The Fahim Muhammad connection, a bridge between two worlds. Let's talk about Fahim Muhammad, a name that keeps popping up whenever Diddy's controversies hit the headlines. Fahim isn't just another bodyguard, he's often described as Diddy's fixer, the man who can smooth over legal troubles and make problems disappear. But here's where things get really interesting. Before working with Diddy, Fahim was Michael Jackson's head of security. Yes, the same guy now protecting Diddy was one of the first people to see Michael Jackson's lifeless body in 2009. Coincidence? Well, some people don't think so.
How does this relate to Diddy? Diddy, his head security, his name is Fahan, I think. And Fahan, when Michael Jackson died, before he died, he was Michael Jackson's head security. Fahan, he's like the Lester, people are saying, in GTA. Whenever employed by Diddy, and you get into police or you get pulled over, you call Fahan, he'll get you out of everything.
From driver to head of security, Fahim's meteoric rise. Fahim Muhammad was hired by Michael Jackson in 2008, just a year before the King of Pop's tragic death. At only 21 years old, Fahim went from being Michael's driver to managing the entire security team for one of the most famous stars in the world. His meteoric rise raised eyebrows even back then, but it wasn't until Michael's shocking passing that Fahim's role became a major point of speculation. On the day Michael Jackson died, Fahim was right there, witnessing Dr. Conrad Murray's desperate and ultimately failed attempts to revive the superstar. Reports claim Fahim was one of the first people to assess the scene, and some fans can't help but wonder if he knows more than he's letting on about the circumstances surrounding Michael's death. Suspicious, right? Fast forward, Fahim's role in Diddy's world. Now, fast forward to today. Fahim Muhammad has found himself working closely with Diddy, who is neck deep in legal battles over allegations ranging from trafficking to assault. Fahim's job? To protect Diddy and ensure his legal troubles don't derail his career or his empire. But here's the twist. Fahim's role in Diddy's world feels eerily similar to what he did for Michael. He's the ultimate gatekeeper, the guy who keeps things quiet and ensures the narrative stays controlled.
I really need to stop digging for shit, because when I dig for stuff, I find things that make me feel uncomfortable. Now, I know you know the man on the left and the man on the right, but do you know the man in the middle? This is Fahim Muhammad. He is the head of security of Diddy, who used to be the head of security of MJ the year he was unalive.
And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Fahim's connection to both Michael and Diddy has sparked countless conspiracy theories. Some believe Fahim's rise wasn't accidental, and that his loyalty may not be as clear-cut as it seems. Could Fahim's skills as a fixer have been used to manage more than just security during the shady circumstances of Michael Jackson's death? LaToya Jackson's explosive claims Michael was unalived. And speaking of suspicious circumstances, LaToya Jackson has been sounding the alarm for years about what she believes really happened to her brother. LaToya has never minced words. She's convinced that Michael's death wasn't an accident, but a planned effort to silence him. According to LaToya, Michael was surrounded by people who didn't have his best interests at heart. She's publicly claimed that these individuals saw Michael as being worth more dead than alive, and used that as justification to take him out.
When I found out he had actually passed, I said, no, it wasn't an accident. He was murdered.
Your brother was murdered.
I always believed that from day one.
But that's not all. LaToya has also pointed fingers at a shadowy group she believes kept the Jackson family away from Michael in his final days. She said that they forced him into situations that led to his demise, and that she won't stop until the truth comes out. Her claims don't stand alone either. Many fans share her belief that Michael's death wasn't just a tragic accident, but an orchestrated plan carried out by people he trusted. And with Diddy's name being tied to other suspicious deaths in Hollywood, it's hard not to connect the dots. The bigger picture, a Hollywood conspiracy? Jim Carrey's claims go beyond just Diddy and Oprah. He's painting a picture of an entertainment industry built on control, manipulation, and secrecy. Michael Jackson, with his global influence and fearless advocacy, was seen as a threat to this system. In one chilling statement, Michael said, "They're trying to destroy me." At the time, many dismissed it as paranoia, but looking back, it feels like a warning. Michael wasn't just fighting for his legacy, he was fighting against an entire system designed to exploit and discard artists. Oprah's alleged betrayal. Oprah's involvement didn't stop with that infamous 1993 interview. Years later, she supported the documentary Leaving Neverland, which reignited allegations against Michael. Fans were furious, accusing her of turning on Michael for ratings while staying silent about her friend Harvey Weinstein's crimes. Even Michael's family, including Janet Jackson, spoke out against Oprah. Janet reportedly believes Oprah's actions were part of a larger effort to tarnish Michael's legacy and align herself with Hollywood's power elite. What Jim Carrey thinks really happened. According to Carrey, Michael's death wasn't just a tragic accident, it was part of a calculated effort to silence him. Carrey claims that both Oprah and Diddy had reasons to feel threatened by Michael, and may have worked together to protect their interests. Could they have been part of a larger conspiracy to keep Michael quiet? Carrey seems to think so, and his allegations have reignited questions about the events leading up to Michael's death. This story is far from over, and the questions it raises are chilling. Was Michael Jackson silenced because he knew too much? Did Oprah and Diddy play a role in one of the biggest tragedies in music history? And if they could do this to Michael, who's next? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, because this is too big to ignore. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's darkest secrets. Up next, we're breaking down the latest scandal surrounding Diddy's legal troubles, and trust me, you don't want to miss it.